All right. Wow, what a night. I understand why I've done everything the way I've done because I'm me. How does it? So you know, in order to, you can comprehend what other people are doing, but you can't understand it because you're not them, right? You'll sit there and you'll look at people. Why the hell are they doing that? Well, you can cover. Well, here's why, and then they'll tell you a little story and a background story, and you can comprehend why they reacted or why they do what they do, but you'll never fully understand it because you're not them, right? You don't have the options, the capabilities, the talents, the the collective interactive of this human being, of this eternal human being. They're different from you. You're a human being, but you're different. You're radically different. You ever seen that movie Precious with the little overweight black girl and the judgmental white lady? You know, you're this and that. You're pregnant and all. What does that mean? The one girl looks at her and she says, "That means I had sex." It's funny. You can really relate to Precious going, "Hey, bitch, because I did this. Why? Because my life sucks and it's hard and fuck you." Okay. You know, it's when you get people that are judgmental. Oh, it drives you nuts. It drives you nuts. Remember that? What was her name? Buffy or Tiffany or whatever at Mr. Palumbo's class when she got up and talked about how, black people can pull themselves up by their bootstraps and there's no excuse for them to all be on welfare and this and that and that. And Anthony got up. Anthony was from Detroit. Anthony goes, "Bitch, if I'd take you to Detroit within a month, your parents wouldn't recognize you. I'd have you in a low income housing unit in a bedroom." He went through it, right, and told him what he would do to pay his bills off of her because everybody would pay lots of money to come in and fuck her. And Mr. Palumbo's from Philly, and he's like, Anthony, and me and it was Rolanda, who liked me, and me and Rolanda were like, "Go, go, go!" You're rooting him on, and he told her that. He said, "Man, I would take you there, and here's what I would do with you, because you just pissed me off." Right? He told her, take you, and I'd prostitute you till you. We're all like, like Dante's mom, and you're like, "Holy shit!" Right? The rest of the white kids in the class all just sit there with their jaw dropped. And Mr. Palumbo understood. He's from Philadelphia. He understood exactly what Anthony was talking about, right? So he didn't get mad at Anthony, and he didn't send him to the principal's office. And Buffy's like sitting there for a jaw open, like, "What the fuck?" Because she didn't know what the fuck she was saying. And Anthony just, that's why they accused me and Anthony of being Asperger's or savant. He just, because I'll do that too. Like I did with Tina Taylor at Southwest Airlines when me and Patrick lived in the barrio because his mom was taking all our money. We lived in the ghetto, we lived right down close to work, which is on Jones and 24th Street in Phoenix, Arizona, right? And she talked about the horrible apartment complex and all the drug dealing, there was no gun violence in my place. I was the on-site manager. And all the people would come in and thank me for being the on-site manager and for, how our apartment complex was a comfortable, safe place to live. And there was always kids playing in and that was Earl. He used to piss off all the old uh, evil on all the white folks that were on disability that hated all the damn Mexicans and the wetbacks and all that, and the people that worked two jobs, and it's funny. It's damn wetbacks. They do all this. And, they work two jobs because none of you will work them. You're on disability. And so you sit there and you listen to all the gruff and and it's real hard in a city. My son Patrick's never lived outside of a city before, except for in the military, which is more intense tribalism than a city. City has so many voices, except you never have any time. I grew up in a village of poor Mexicans because we were poor white people outside of a college town. And, of course, naturally I gravitated towards the oppressed, like, Vincent van Gogh, as opposed to, you got to work your way up the food chain. Like, that's bullshit. Well, because they sent me to church and they talked about Jesus Christ. And it's like, no, that's not what Jesus says. Jesus doesn't say there's a food chain. Jesus says forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal faithful peace. Jesus didn't say break into rival gangs, all that crap that you idiots do, that you're still doing. And then you thank God. It's like they're not talking about Jesus. They're talking about their own war gods. They're using the ones that the assholes just like them over thousands of years have made up with their heads. And the only reason they're talking about God is to set other people up to go mass murder or be murdered in the name of God. They've been doing this for tens of thousands of years. It's worked. Why stop now? It hasn't worked. It doesn't work. It's manipulation. Manipulation doesn't work. We're not working in peace, and we're not resting in peace. So all these people get on me about this and that. I'll get up and do my fucking extremist stuff. Okay, I'll eat oranges and tangerines like my buggy for the rest of my life, It's not to have sex with a super diva. It's to make sure that I can get Buggy and Plim and all them through this hell, if I can. I'm going to try to carry them out of Metroplex. I'm going to try to, you don't carry them out of Metroplexes. I wasn't doing anything wrong telling the military what to do and then not joining the Temple of Set Illuminati. I earned that, and no one else was listening to me, and I couldn't get my own children and my own wives to listen, but I couldn't get my own wives to listen to me. When we were married, I could get my children to listen to me, and then my children were abused for it and then taken away by military intel and given to people that put them into herd group mentalities, And when I watched that, I subscribed to that CEO thing, and then I looked at it. So he got like 11 million subscribers. He's going to be okay. Don't subscribe to the channel. It's like, you'll be all right. He'll be all right. Yeah. So I sat there and I went and all this stuff, and I only watched two of them, Michelle and Craig, and I was like, oh, okay. So it is corporate. Okay. And then I watched the Shaolin kid. That cried when his dad died from cancer. It's like, well, you know why your dad died from cancer. So why are you crying? Look, life's eternal and grace is infinite. Your dad died from cancer because he accepted excessive, abusive tribalism and proving himself to others instead of being himself and not having to prove himself to anyone. The only people he had to prove himself to was your mother and you. And he died proving himself to other people that didn't matter, and you're still crying about that. Why don't you tell everybody about it and do something about it? You'd rather just break bricks. Okay, so you're going to put on a show for wealthy people because they're going to stroke your ego the same way they did your old man. And you're dying inside from the same cancer, but you're healthy. Shit. Okay, you Shaolin priest, huh? You Kung Fu master. Okay. What the brick ever do to you? Okay, seriously, come on, young man. You're handsome. You got a great body. I had a great body in 2017 till all the guys that train people like you got jealous of me and tried to poison me to death. You're not going to cry over me and Sonia Sen, but you're going to cry over your old man. What has your old man ever done to save children from being mass murdered by the people that he tried to capitulate to? Come on, Shaolin priest, let's get this shit going on. Come on, you super monks. Come on, monks, tell me how to live. Come on, bring the Dalai Lama and the rest of you bitches and come on. Oh, I've had it with you. You're just like the fucking child molesters at the Vatican, okay? You buy into the bullshit and then you don't offer any logical solutions. You just take the fuck. Swallow the bitter pill and fight and beat up the bricks. Okay, what if I want to use the bricks to build a nice little house that water won't leak through, and some guy will sit there and go, there's something needs to change. Well, you need to stand up for a Lord's Prayer and stop being a businessman in a business district where you accept fighting and fucking over money as reality, and they say, hey, take care of me. How is fighting and fucking over reality going to take care of you or anybody else? The hell's wrong with you people? You want to go shout, hey, Come on, Steven Seagal. What's the measure of a man, Mr. Polar Bear Skin? Come on. You act different. Yeah, I got a little gunny. Sorry, it's me. I was in the military, I was raised in New Mexico around, gangs that murder each other because of tribalism and, act like Zorro and rob from the rich, steal the poor, Robin Hood, and stuff. I understand, you know. I'll recover. I'm intelligent. I appealed to not the border slave states. I appealed to humanity. Okay. And this was different than border slave states. And I always appeal to humanity. In freeing the slave, we ensure freedom of the free. That's just the way I am. Okay. And then that wasn't working because, I told my dad, to be at the top, not at the bottom. So I went to Cruces, and I was born in Cruces and went to Sierra Vista, then came back, and I'm at the top. I commanded the U.S. military to honor my commands, and they tried to flip it on me and say, no, only if you join the Temple of Illuminati. No, that's the group that killed my mother and sexually assaulted my family and tried to turn me into a pervert that was going to be in the Epstein files with Bill Clinton, I was about to say George Clinton, with Bill Clinton and Epstein and all the rest of those people that are all business partners of those people. Epstein files ain't coming out because the Clintons, the Obamas, and the Bidens, and the Bushes all have the same business partners. That's why the Epstein files ain't coming out, assholes. It has nothing to do with government corruption. It has to do with your corruption. It's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Anybody else want to be a Shaolin priest breaking bricks for money on TV? Okay, come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. Don't do that. Don't do that. The bricks haven't hurt you. Okay. What's hurting you is your inability to stand up for that which is right because you're afraid of physically dying from assassins or scientists that can poison you to death. And no one will help you because they're all afraid of dying themselves. Why are you afraid of dying? You haven't lived a day in your life. All right, peace.